Hello, welcome to Game 4 of the D-League Championship between BitterWurmcoil and LTaco. BitterWurmcoil is up 2-1. Strumph, what do you think of this kingdom?
I see tower and a defiled shrine. I see... distracted by text. Anyway, okay, so we have villages. We have a fishing village and the village queen. We have a market square that we could activate with temple. And we cannot activate our tunnel. And
we can activate the village green if we want.
Can we?
With camel train.
Fuck! Sean!
There's also a hidden half pile of villages. For whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so temple here seems useful. Probably we're going to open with temple, and we're going to pair that with a 3-cost.
Market square.
You're like 5 and 12 to collide those turn 3 or 4, which feels pretty low.
What is the temple line and direction?
Temple shrine says non-gathering piles, so temple does not actually have VP chips on it due to defiled shrine.
Oh, I thought it was an interaction.
So temple, farmers market, and wild hunt have gathering keyword on them. I think I like temple experiment, just like we're very likely to see our temple in trash 2 and still have enough money to buy something nice. I'm really worried about draw.
Oh, that is so cute.
They will move off.
That is not cute. I retract that statement.
Except we're not gaining. When you buy the temple, you can either choose to take the whole pile of VP chips or move one to defiled shrine. So, unless you're crazy, you will move them. Well, that's a next level play against a lower rated player. You move a VP chip to defiled shrine to incentivize your opponent to badly buy a curse.
Well, you can choose. If
yeah.
You go, then, okay.
So, both players go temple experiment, which I like. I'm just not quite sure what we're doing. Like, market square is getting golds. I guess golds are good. And then we, like, buy a bunch of experiments every turn. Fishing villages, I guess, are going to be bad because draw is too limited. I think I believe in, like, camel train experiment periodically. You can camel train village green. It doesn't seem very good, though. This all seems very sad.
I'm here for you.
Like we're getting settlers because we're hitting 2. Which, I mean, this is why you get experiments at the temple early on. I can believe in mystics. I can even believe in idols here. Given how bad draw is, like the curses are going to be a little bit annoying. Like camel train for 1 idol, buy a 2nd idol, and that's your payload. But I feel like a market square player is going to be able to get more golds into the deck and then have more money and buy more experiments every turn. Wind's Gift, by the way, is in the pile, Boone's pile for idols. So you could use Wind's Gift to activate tunnel village green.
Yeah, you should get all the tunnels now.
You could even discard the tunnel to gain the gold and then village green draw back into it. Both players' settlers are behaving poorly, which is kind of what you expect with settlers. 2nd temple. And LTaco has also taken the defiled shrine points. And BitterWurmcoil has opened with temple and still has 2 estates in the deck. And is very sad, but is able to get a gold. So I somewhat strongly think BitterWurmcoil is quite a bit ahead here. But 8 VP is a lot of VP chips. I would want experiments there for a BitterWurmcoil, definitely. I think the 2nd market square is a bad idea because we don't have enough money to we don't have enough money to do stuff with those. Like I want to get mix experiments and market squares so that I can get a gold every turn, but getting more experiments every turn as well. So that I'm buying like 3 sets of experiments every turn with all my golds to redraw them. And LTaco here hits 9. I also think we added the golds in a little bit too early before we had deck control.
Why are market squares worth 2 VP? Okay.
Well, I mean, each market square is worth 1.
Mm-hmm.
Again, my opponent with a deck of 8 market squares can't activate to get the golds. They're just redrawing their temple. I mean, and maybe piling down the market squares with the double temple line like LTaco has is fine. Experiments are never going to be worth 1 VP. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the experiments pile is ever going to do anything. We just get the $9 temple. That's got to be some kind of meme, right? Yeah, so just like we just need experiments. I don't know what's happening here.
Better believe in it, Char.
We're just piling down the market squares, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I said, this game is pretty sad. You can't do that much here. So maybe piling down the market squares is fine. I just want to be doing more with my life than piling down cantrips.
In general.
Yeah, and now we're gonna pile down the settlers pile. Like, what are we doing?
That got like off the suffix.
So here's the logic that I have. Like turn 9, we bought 3 market squares. Okay. Turn 8, we bought 2 market squares. Actually, we bought 0 market squares turn 8. Turn 7, we bought 2 market squares. If we had bought 1 market square and 1 pair of experiments, then turn 9, we would have been able to buy 2 market squares and more experiments. And turn 8, we would have been able to do that. We would have ended up with the same number of market squares. We would have drawn through our deck. We would have thinned once more with Temple. Like, the market squares are... The experiments are enabling us to buy more market squares until the very end there. So, I guess you take experiments and province here, but look at this turn. We played 6. We have 7 buys, and we have nothing to do with it. And BitterWurmcoil is playing for a longer game, I guess.
We needed all those market squares.
Yeah, I guess you take experiments. Oh, Fishing Village is bad. No. I don't know what she's doing here.
She's gonna need something to trash with Temple.
Then take experiments. That's how the experiments pile gets down to 0. Is we trash them all with Temple.
Yeah.
Or you trash some and your opponent just rebuys 4 every turn.
But then there's like no points.
Indeed. It's all very sad. I did the Fishing Villages are stop cards, and we're having a terrible time drawing our deck as it is. I think we probably play 1 of these market squares. Okay. I mean, our whole deck is market squares, so we can play a couple. So this is a spot where I trash copper, take 2 golds, buy 3 sets of experiments. And...
Okay. No.
Nope.
No.
These Fishing Villages are just not working for us, I don't think.
I mean, that's her chance to trash it.
Yeah, we'll see if that's what happens here. Or if she plays it.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, we can be like all indignant like Aku was.
I mean, I can be indignant at any time for almost any reason.
The village, BitterWurmcoil.
You want to repeat that again, or was that good enough?
No, I'm happy with it. I'm very upset.
So going back to the previous game, we talked about like making a plan and following through with it, like Brian Boitano would do.
Yeah.
And when Brian Boitano was in the Olympics skating for the gold, he did 2 sow cows into triple Lutz wearing a blindfold. That's how it goes. I don't think either of these players had a coherent plan at the beginning of the Kingdom. And we have resulted in this game state here where the decks have added some VP, but they're not particularly good.
To be fair, that's extremely relatable. Like, this would have been me.
But yeah, so I mean, we're doubling here. This is kind of a remarkable draw. I think this is most of the golds in her deck, though. And you have to double here. There's no playing around anything. You just click double and hope that LTaco can't double. And then, you know, maybe LTaco gets nervous in provinces, then you can double again, or maybe you just are ahead half turn. But I'm trying to figure out what she's thinking about. Province, duchy experiments or something. I don't know why you're not clicking on province, though. You're never winning the game without getting more provinces. I like province duchy experiments there over triple duchy, like pretty significantly. Well, I don't know. In what world is 3x duchy better than province duchy experiment? I think province duchy experiment is strictly better, but double province might be better than that too. Just not as strict. Just any world where LTaco double provinces in a turn, they win this game. That's the thing here. And now the deck we aren't adding these experiments every turn, and we aren't adding these experiments every turn, and now we've added green cards, so the decks have gotten worse.
Oh, so close. Go experiments.
I think as LTaco, you are worried about the magical double province turn again, and you take some VP here. I don't like leaving an 11-point lead with 2 provinces in the deck, knowing that BitterWurmcoil can hit 16, although she did hit 16 once. Yeah, she hit 16 once. The question is, who has the experiments, I guess? And the answer is, if BitterWurmcoil has no experiments in deck, I think you say you're never going to hit double. And you can't even take single now. Or you have to take single down 11 points. And now, yeah, we're not even hitting 8 with these decks. The second temple does nothing, essentially. It was just to activate market squares, I guess. But, if you remember at the beginning of the Kingdom, I was talking about how awkward draw was. And how that was sort of the main consideration, is how do we manage our draw here.
Maybe.
And I think both players somewhat ignored that fact. And we're going to see here. But LTaco decided late in the game to add in those experiments, which is going to get them to win here. I think there's 12. You just do province experiments and be pretty happy with it. LTaco didn't get as many golds for having started on the gold stuff earlier. I guess they didn't invest in it as much as BitterWurmcoil did. There are a lot of VP in Tower, so 50% VP here is incredibly high. You know, it's like 100, 150. Oh, did LTaco just bottom deck all the golds last shuffle? Wow, okay.
It's tie now, 2-2.
So we are tied 2-2. First player's won every game, and we move on to game 5.